What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld Podcast. And today we're going to be talking Week 15 NFL 2019 Thursday Night Football. Unbelievable game, but pretty much the Jets, we knew it was going to happen. A lot of people expected it to be a lot worse than it was with the 42-21. Obviously, the Jets were able to do a couple things, special teams touchdown, things of that nature. But the star of the show was Lamar Jackson. Obviously, he broke the single-season QB rushing record, threw for 5 touchdowns. It was very, very easy to do, though. If you look, this is the situation, right? People don't really seem to grasp yet that this is a young man that nobody thought he would be able to evolve this quickly. Not even myself, because of the way that he was throwing the football last season. We all knew he could run. But being able to make the decisions that he's making currently, that is a huge upgrade to a team that plays pretty good defense. Now, they had some situations where it was like some mixed and botched defensive calls, and they gave up some touchdowns. You know, Crowder got one after he dropped the wide open one, etc., etc. But overall, they're a good enough defense to keep the Ravens in a game regardless, which should make a lot of people scared because you can't stop Lamar Jackson. And barring any injury, which I really, really hope this young man does not have to deal with anything major. I know he was nursing a quad injury, but I really just want to see what he can do through his full potential without any injury, because I do believe that it would lead the Ravens to a Super Bowl championship. But getting back to like just the overall aspect of the game, there were some things going on with the Jets. Obviously, they're very, very injury riddled. So we can't just outright say, you know what, the team's trash. Maybe we can. We can't. Like, even if the people weren't injured, they still would have been dominated regardless. So it's not like it would have been a huge factor, in my opinion. Even with all the injuries that they have, obviously Le'Veon Bell gets back. I think Montgomery looks a lot fresher than Le'Veon Bell. Something, like I said, the whole thing with him going bowling, he had the flu, he lost 7 pounds, all that stuff. I understand all of the, the hysteria surrounding the New York Jets, but ultimately, it's a lot of things that's going on with Gase, and it's just a franchise right now that it's become something that we don't talk about positively regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something that's completely different. I don't know how to explain the Jets. Like, Jet fans out there, let me know how you explain your team, because it's a weird situation. It's just a really, dudes are doing whatever they want. People are injured. People are going out, bowling until 1 a.m. Like I said, I just don't know what people are expecting from it. Sam Darnold with the whole thing that he had mono. It's really, really weird, the things that are going on over there. So I don't know how long it'll take that franchise to actually be a team where they're actually a threat. People can make fun of Rex Ryan and all that stuff, but, Mark Sanchez, all these guys, you kind of thought that they could win games, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, even if you go back there with the Darrelle Revis when, they weren't really that good or whatever, their defense was really, really stout. They were able to go out there and do stuff. You still had something, of positivity that you could say, like, yo, you never know what's going to happen with this. Yo, the Jets might do this. I haven't felt that way the entire year. Now, granted, they beat the Cowboys, but who hasn't? You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird situation. I just want to point that out, because watching it, not at any point did I think they were a threat to the Ravens, but even if you want to kind of downgrade the past Jet teams and say, they weren't as good, with Rex Ryan or the other coach that just recently got fired or whatever, you still thought that they were going to probably be able to do something. You get nothing right now. And I don't know what that is. It's like a certain aura around them where you just know that they're going to lose games, and it's really, really disgusting to see. But honestly, like I said, Montgomery looked really, really fresh to my eye. Every time he got the ball, he was like a bolt of lightning. Le'Veon Bell, that whole little stutter thing, the offensive line is not that good. It's not like the Steelers, so you can't really, see a hole and then run through it. But he did look a little bit better, a little bit more pep in his step. But the night belonged to Lamar Jackson. The emotion that this young man shows, the way that his teammates rallied behind him, even when he had that fumble, what was it, last week when he had to fumble the one turnover, whatever, like, this is a different type of team. And people don't seem to understand when you're dealing with a 53-man roster where you have to come together at some point to show that camaraderie, to show that it is something that you want to do together. It becomes very, very scary when they click like this. When you have Mark Ingram and these players playing like this, and look, the defense is playing well. You got Peters out there balling, like wanting to win. This is scary. if you're in the AFC and you got to deal with this, like, bro, the Patriots, I gotta, like, the Patriots are under investigation for something that's stupid. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that whole Patriot thing. Do you think that it's something that Bill Belichick was trying to do again, or is it just like, you know, it's really not cheating? I don't know, but it looks like the Patriots are still staying focused and it's not going to be an issue, but it doesn't really matter what signals they know and what they do, because the Ravens play based off that read option and you don't know who's keeping and you're not fast enough off the step to get Lamar Jackson, because I don't believe that there's any player on the Patriots that's fast enough to keep up with Lamar Jackson. And the reason that I'm bringing up the Patriots is because that's the king of the NFL. That's the monster. Until I see them defeated in the playoffs, we can't pass any torches or anything like that. So they're going to have to do it again. They beat them in the regular season. They're going to have to do it again. As far as every other team, the 49ers that they beat, everybody else that they have beaten, it's very, very unique in the fact that they've gotten better after their first couple losses. They've actually gotten better. This is really, really crazy to try to, to assess, because I'm looking at it like, this is the first year where I don't even care about the Patriots. Like, seriously, like, you always have to worry about them. They lost to the Chiefs also. Like, people have to realize they're not just losing to, a team here, a team there. They're losing consecutively, and they're losing to young quarterbacks, and we're starting to see that Tom Brady doesn't have the receiving core. Like, he doesn't have anything. Bro, that dude's team right now, his receiving core, pretty much every one of us that's listening to this podcast, we could go and suit up and we would be similar to the most, with the exception of Edelman. Okay? We could just go suit up and we would be the same caliber as the players that are on this team. Like, this dude is just throwing the dudes that I don't know where they came from. But again, because it's Tom Brady, we still expect greatness. It's very, very tough. It's part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is what it is. You got nobody. You got AB tweeting out ridiculousness. He's probably never, ever going to play in the league again. Somebody needs to take his phone away. There really are no other wide receivers that are available. You get rid of Josh Gordon. I don't know what to kind of expect from the Patriots going forward. So that lets me believe, in my opinion, that if the Ravens continue to play like this and they stay healthy going into the playoffs, they are the team to beat throughout the entirety of everything. The entire playoffs, the Super Bowl, they are the team to beat. And I don't believe at this point that there are any teams in the AFC that are going to beat them. Now, the 49ers are a tough team. I think that they just really, really showed when they played the Saints that they can grind and win. They may have grown. It could be a repeat Super Bowl with the Ravens and the Niners. I just don't know. Like, we just have to make sure, like, take our time and look at it and kind of analyze it. Make sure health is the issue that they focus on, and they know that they have to, if Lamar Jackson has to rest for a game or whatever after they clinch everything and the #1 seed, if it's possible, let him rest and just let him go in there and do what he has to do. Because this is going to be one of the best playoffs that we've seen in a very, very long time. Because I do believe that there are going to be upsets, and it's going to be weird upsets. I just don't think the Ravens are going to be upset, because their form of football is very, very difficult to deal with, because their time of possession is so crazy because they primarily run the ball. You can't let them go out and get a lead, else more than likely you're going to lose the game. So it's very difficult to play against teams like this. And I don't think people understand that. That's been their formula. They go up. Well, the Jets, they just scored. They just threw a touchdown because the Jets are not a good team. But if they play good teams, once they go up, they just run the ball and eat all the clock. You know what I'm saying? And their defense is good enough to get stops. I don't see, at this point right now, anyone beating the Ravens. I see them winning the Super Bowl. That's just off eye test, just looking at it. I think that they're playing football the fundamental way, in a fashion to where we haven't seen it like this in forever, because we're used to, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, airing it out. This guy can throw. Lamar Jackson can throw, but not only that, he's the best running back in football. I want to know how you're going to game plan for that, the way he destroyed Bill Belichick. And he's supposed to be the guru and the minds behind everything. I don't know. We have to wait to see, but that's my point of view on it. I would love to hear what you guys are thinking about it. Who is your favorite? What team? What division? What conference? Give me all that information. But Week 15 is heating up, guys. I'm going to see you guys and girls soon. Be sure to download this podcast, GmiasWorld Podcast, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify. One love.